Hello beautifuls. So this is a Galactic Mayan Wavespell report for the 14th of July 2018. So the 13-day process that we are moving into on the 14th of July is the energy of red earth. So over the next 13 days we are going to be going through a journey of earthing. So the energy of red earth is very much about being grounded in the physical body. It's about being able to recognize our connection with nature and that we are a part of nature. So within this wave spell, there's probably going to be emotional challenges. There's probably going to be mental challenges. There's probably going to be, all of these things that challenges about being in this human being vessel are going to very much come in. And, in a similar vein to yellow human energy, there's this tendency to want to get out of the body. Because, red earth is very much about being here and grounded in the physical vessel. So over the next 13 days, you're probably going to experience what makes you feel ungrounded. You're going to be experiencing, the people and the situations and the experiences that make you feel wobbly. And, the medicine within all of this is, okay, so how do we remain grounded, within a chaotic system? And, to be grounded can mean so many different things. One thing is, to be in your body, and realistic, but realistic in the sense of being honest about who you are, and, realistic in the sense of not just being in the world of concepts, in the world of like higher mind concepts, in the world of taking drugs and connecting in that realm, not kind of being in the body is an element of being grounded. But there's also, with being grounded, this energy of, okay, this is my spirit, this is the truth of who I am, and I'm going to bring that out from within me. Because often, we kind of come into this space of being the people pleaser, being the bendy person who, kind of doesn't stay in authenticity and integrity, and instead becomes what we think that the world wants us to be. And this can be a very subconscious process. So even when we think that we're being authentic, and even when we think that we're being ourselves, because that's the program that's been running, this people pleasing, or this, this reaction. So, within the shadow of red earth, there's this energy of, the personality that is a reaction to the situation, the personality that's a reaction to trauma. And, when we can strip away, what it is, what this reaction has been, and, really kind of look at what we're reacting to, and start to do the healing on that, then all of a sudden this need to overcompensate, this need to pretend, even when we don't realise that we're pretending, begins to dissolve, and our authentic true self can come through. So within this energy of red earth as well, there's very much the energy of the planet, so there's this collective energy, there's this natural energy, there's this, oh my gosh, I'm a human being, and the human being belongs in the woods or on the beach or on the, connected in with nature, which is what we've always done before we created this really inhumane, unnatural way of living. So within this wave spell, it's a fantastic opportunity to really drop deeper into, the way that we used to live, the way that the ancients lived, the way that we are sort of part of the earth, and, the fact that we are the earth keepers. So there's as well this energy of, it's a potential for people to be making discoveries around, things that can support us in living closer to the earth and more in harmony with the earth. So also within this wave spell, there's like an encouragement and an opportunity for you to to really look at your relationship to the earth and look at your relationship to your body. So our body is a microcosm of the earth that we live on. So our spirit is inhabiting our body, and our spirits and our physical selves are inhabiting the earth, but we're still a part of it. So there's an opportunity to really explore this relationship with the body, and how do we feel in a body? How do we feel in a body? How do we feel in our little earth? How is our soil? And our soil can be our thought constructs and our emotional patterns, but also, what are we putting into our body? How are we feeding the earth? Are we burning fossil fuels and smoking cigarettes and polluting our body? And if we are, that's all well and good, but it's a recognition of that is what we're doing, and we're polluting our earth. So again, it's that dropping then deeper into why are we polluting our earth, as opposed to it being like, I'm a really bad person because I'm doing this. It's a shift from that perspective into, okay, I'm trying to cope because of something, so what am I trying to cope about? And then dropping into that and dropping into that on a deeper level and healing that, or beginning to heal that and dissolve that coping mechanism. So also within this energy of red earth, it's a red code. So there's an energy of awakening. So it's awakening again to our self as a little planet, our self as a cosmic being, our self as a natural being. And again, kind of examining and picking apart and holding space for the exploration of why it is that we do these unnatural things. So if we're somebody that feels that we want to decorate ourselves, it's fantastic to decorate oneself. It's a beautiful thing, to wear beautiful makeup, to wear beautiful clothes, but it's again just coming to the space of, okay, so where is that coming from? Is that coming from a space of, without it I feel not good enough? And again, using that as the gateway that it is to drop deeper into, okay, I'm itching my eye, so there's something that's a little bit off with that statement, but there's this energy of, how can we be our most natural self? Okay, so our natural self, because I don't wear makeup and stuff, there's a little, my ego coming into that little comment there, so letting go of that. But how can we most come into our natural self? So your natural self may be somebody that loves to wear makeup, and that's your natural self, and that fits with you, because we're all incredibly different and diverse. But there's this energy of, how can I be my most natural self? And if I'm not being my most natural self, why am I not being my most natural self? And what can I do to align with my most natural self? Also within this energy, this Wavespell, when it comes to natural processes, we've been living in this patriarchal system where we've been led to believe that we need to be certified in order to do X, Y, Z. We need to go on the training, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do the other, in order to allow our natural selves to come forward. I feel like I'd really like to support people and counsel them. I feel like I'd really like to do something creative. I feel like I'd really like to do this and do that and be this and be whatever. And as opposed to stepping into that and being like, okay, I'm going to allow that from the inside of me to come out, we search for the permission. And once we go through the course, once we get the qualification, then we feel that we've got the permission. But we don't need the permission. How can we give ourselves permission? Obviously there are certain things that legally we have to have a qualification in or whatever, but it's coming out of that system of looking for the training and recognising that we are the teacher and it's already within us. So as well, within this energy of Red Earth, we're coming into the new year. So the new Mayan year begins on the 26th of July, and I'm going to do a whole video about that, which will come in a few days. But it's as well, the recognition that within this Wavespell, we are rounding up the past year of our experience. So we're rounding off, this kind of yellow seed year that we've been within. And, we're moving into this red moon energy. So again, there's this red theme, the red moon energy within the red earth Wavespell. So there's this energy of awakening. So, you know, it may be within this Wavespell that dormant aspects of yourself come forward. There's an awakening to, holy shit, you know, the mystical situation that we are currently in, that the material world would like to distract us from. You know, we are literally on a floating ball that's spinning and going through space. It's like, okay, get some perspective. So again, within this Wavespell, there's the opportunity to really get some perspective and be like, okay, bigger picture, zoom out. What the bloody hell am I doing here? If you're doing something that you're not enjoying, then don't do it. And work with everything that brings up. Oh, well, I'm scared because I won't get the money. That's a little pocket for you to work on and dissolve. And as you dissolve it, then the outer world transforms. It's just a belief. You know, oh, I'm not good enough or I'm not qualified. Again, another belief that you can pick apart. So there's this like zoom out, what are you doing here? And all that means is what sets your heart on fire. Are you doing what you really want to be doing? And if you're not, then why not? And do it. You know? I'm not saying that in a preachy way, I'm saying that in a, we are here to experience the incredible opportunity to be the divine embodied. We're here to realise that we can create whatever we want on this earth realm, that the idea of impossibility is an illusion, and that we can really step into our joy, because that's all we want to do. We want to live in joy, we want to live in happiness and in our hearts. And it is possible. You know, I can speak from experience, it is possible. But it's a question of, you know, what's in the way of that? And all it ever is us, and that's not something to get down about. But every time that victim part of us all steps in and is like, oh, it just doesn't work for me. And it, like I say, it's part of us all, and I've still got elements of me that feel like that. It's the, okay, no, it's not that it doesn't work out for me, it's just an edge of me that's not yet transformed. I'm ready to transform it, and I'll do whatever it takes, and I'll be really patient with myself, and I'll hold space for myself until I get into the place where it feels like I'm able to manifest what I'm wanting to manifest. And this idea of manifestation is simply alignment. It's aligning with the reality and the trajectory that we were here to align with. So when we experience these synchronicities, when we experience these deja vus, it's just an energy of like, okay, cool, I'm in alignment. You know, that thing that I saw for myself before I beamed in, that path that I was like, highest and greatest good, wicked, that's the one I want. All of a sudden, these parallel realities that every moment we're shifting into, because every moment we're making a slightly different choice, when we synchronise with the one that we wanted to, the one that comes from here, the one that comes from here, then click, 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 synchronicity, click, 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 whoa, everything spins out a little bit and it goes a bit mental. And then we kind of put the lid back on, it's like, don't really know what happened there. But it's just an alignment, it's an energy of alignment, and this red earth energy is very much about that. It's about, okay, how am I aligning with everything else that exists? You know, with the yellow human energy, which is another of the Mayan archetypes, there's this energy of your galactic self. When it comes to the red earth, it's you as a part of this entire planet. And, you know, how on mission are you with being in alignment with the rest of the planet, of being in balance and harmony? You know, you look at nature, and nature naturally balances itself. You've got loads of trees, like I'm currently looking at loads of beautiful trees in the Blue Mountains outside of my window, and you know, they've all grown together, and you know, one was going to the light this way and it kind of put that one in the shadow, so it moved that way. But naturally, they're sharing the ecosystem, they're working together, and they've each had to grow in slightly different ways, and they look different, but simultaneously there's this energy of balance. And as a human being, with this choice that we have, you know, we have the choice to move, we have the choice to do these various different things. Are we making the choice that's for the highest and greatest good of all? Are we considering the future generations? And again, you know, this energy of red earth is this thing around being grounded. It's this thing about being, you know, who we truly are. It's about this energy of what makes us wobble, what pulls us out of that, what beliefs are within us that make us want to be bubblies, that make us want to abandon ourselves, that make us want to sell our bodies. And selling our bodies doesn't necessarily mean selling our sex. Selling our bodies means doing the job that we don't want to fucking do. Selling our bodies and minds and spirits means that doing anything that isn't setting us on fire in our hearts, you know. And everybody, every single person has got an element of that going on, you know. So what do we need to do? What do we need to let go of to recognise that that doesn't have to be the case? Because as I say, it's only ever beliefs. It's only ever us. We make things matter. You know, we give it importance and we bring it into form. So whatever our beliefs are, we are bringing them into form. You know, if we've got limiting beliefs, which every person does, as opposed to like bypassing it and being like, no, I don't think like that, I'm just going to look over here instead, and your subconscious is bringing in all of that shit, it's like, oh, okay, whoa, I've got some really limiting beliefs here. They're my beliefs that I've been conditioned to think. Okay, I'm going to go deeper with them and I'm going to unhook them. I'm going to heal the experiences that led to the creation of those beliefs. And as I heal the experiences that have led to the creation of those beliefs, the beliefs transform. You know, and anybody that knows me knows that EFT is something that's incredibly important to me, and that's been a real key for shadow transformation when it comes to dissolving beliefs. You know, because we can do all of this stuff up here, we can really connect galactically, we can really connect to the earth, but if we're not working with our beliefs, our ability to project out and match the current reality that we're wanting to manifest isn't going to work if we've got murky beliefs. So the beliefs for me are the key to the whole shebang. So yes, during this wave spell, I am going to be in Bali and then back in the UK, so I'm really, really excited. I'm going to be able to work again, because whilst I've been in these wonderful mountains, I've been in a very internal place and I've been completely cut off from the internet, so that's meant that I've not been able to work. So I'm going to be offering loads of astrology reports. It's a really important time to get an astrology report because we're moving on the 26th of July into the new year, so it's like a year forecast that I'm offering at the moment. I'm also doing 2 incredible retreats, one with an amazing granny called Debs, and you know, she's an incredibly connected earth keeper, and she really shares that like earth wisdom. It's such a gift to be sharing, you know, Mayan insights and Mayan dance with her incredible earth wisdom. And then I'm also hosting a retreat with another wonderful sister, Lolita, and we're going to be journeying through the moon cycles, again potent for this red moon year that we're going to be moving into. So both those things are going to take place in the UK. I'm also going to be around for doing energy work, for doing Reiki trainings. I'm really going to be stepping up my offerings when it comes to training in Reiki. And yeah, there's going to be various other bits and bats. I'm really feeling the call for doing some big womb activations with women. Again, you know, using with this moon year and this moon energy, I've had a huge download to be working with the menstrual cycle and the Mayan calendar, and to be taking people on this like month journey, this moon cycle journey, using the Mayan calendar and shadow transformation to really come into the power of a woman through the womb. So that's going to be very, very exciting. And yeah, there's loads of wonderful things like tingling around the energy fields. So yeah, get in touch if you would like to book a reading or book a session, and I'm really, really, really buzzing for this new year, and I'll be sending some more videos out about what the year has in store for us. So I'm sending you loads and loads and loads of love from these incredible Apus, the mountains, the blue mountains of this wonderful country. Deep blessings from the songlines of Australia, deep blessings from my heart to yours always. And yeah, take care, wonderful, wonderful people.